We're getting a previous, okay.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Cool.
She took that very well, didn't she? Let's be honest with ourselves.
I don't know what to do here. This is a mess.
You do look like a bumblebee though, mate. So winning in that case.
How about we just chill
Nice advice.
and go to the town meeting and talk it out after?
Perfect.
Can anyone access our search history, or is this
question.
an...
Is 100% confidential.
Perfect.
Now, what kind of pornography would you like to see?
No, not...
Oh, take advantage, mate. See what she's got.
There you go.
Wow, that easy.
Gather around, please. Thank you, thank you.
That is a strong pattern though, isn't it?
What do we know, Janet?
We know where it happened. Here.
See, that's the trouble with these perfect...
Oh, did I cause this? I did say sometimes you just need a little bit of anarchy. I don't know if I left that in the first video, I'll be honest with you, but like, I'm just saying, that's what I said. A little bit of chaos, man. Oh God, did I do this?
Well, it can lead to Gary over there.
Oh, Gary.
Hang in there, buddy.
Yikes.
Right. Still not used to being in a human body.
Oh, what are you?
Do you lick it
You
away?
an
Is that
angel?
right?
No.
You dab it with a cloth.
Do you? No, you just let it go. You take a shower.
And then you lick the cloth? That seems weirder.
No. To be fair, I do like that they're not all taking it out on Michael. I feel a little bit protective about Michael, so I do appreciate that they're not taking it out wholly on him. Perfect. Good. How long till they do, though?
Where did you get a chalkboard?
It's the good place. You can get anything you want.
Nice. Hey, he's taking this seriously. Perfect. No, this is good.
The Metaphysics of Morals by Immanuel Kant.
Emmanuel who?
Is there a moral imperative to help you? Do I have a greater obligation to my community?
Thing is though, no. The greater obligation to my community. I feel like that's null and void because, not being funny, you have no obligation to your community. You are literally in the afterlife, son. Do you know what I mean? I do feel like they are applying like a human framework to a situation that does not work by the same rules. The society that they're in does not govern itself based on human thought or decision making. It's not human. Whatever Michael is, like we had it in this episode, he was like, it's weird having a human body. He's not human. And it's clearly been made up by, if not him or his species, whatever he is, or someone higher, which is not human. So it's interesting. I feel like, obviously, I do feel like this isn't a deep thing. I do feel like, this is doomed to fail. She's not going to just suddenly become or learn to be a good person. Although it's an interesting question, right? Can you learn to be good? I think you can. I do feel like at least from what I've seen of the show so far, it's going for the comedic value more so. I don't think she's going to succeed. I mean, from a writing perspective, I feel like they're going to have to like meet this head on at some point and be like, no, okay, it's you. That's absolutely going to happen at some point. So with that in mind, obviously this isn't going to work, but I do feel like it makes sense that this is never going to work because they're applying like a human framework to something that just doesn't work that way. Because this community isn't dependent on the humans involved in it. The humans involved in it have already been determined. The society that they're living in, if you can call it that, has already been determined. It's already supposed to be the perfect society.
Are you taking someone else's spot? Someone who deserves to be here?
Ooh, on that question. I honestly think I was just put here by mistake.
Yeah, maybe.
Tell me one fact that you know about me.
Oh, come on, Eleanor,
What
please.
country am I from?
Oh, God.
Is it racist if I say Africa?
Yes, and Africa is not a country. Where did I go to college?
Trick question, you didn't.
I was literally a college professor.
Oh, God. Eleanor, please.
Dude, things have been nuts around here. I bet you don't know anything about me.
Went to school in Tempe. You're an only child. Your favorite show is something called The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Amazing.
And your favorite book is Kendall Jenner's Instagram.
Was that her answer? No, Eleanor.
Because you are
told me.
constantly talking about yourself. Hey, this is my fear about you, Eleanor. You are too selfish to ever be a good person.
Ooh, no, hard disagree. And I feel like this gives in to the common misconception about selfishness that it is automatically bad, because it's not. I think any human emotion, personally, and again, by the way, this is an opinion. I'm not right, I'm not wrong. My opinion. Cool. Disclaimer over with. Perfect. In my opinion, every single emotion that a human can ever experience is not bad. Blanket statement. And I think that's true. I think the way that we then react to those emotions, the ways that we react to those feelings and those things, that is what makes us good or bad. I feel like that's the foundation for morality. That's where I come from. And for me, selfishness comes under, okay, it's a human emotion. We feel it. We don't have a choice. Because I think that's the key for me, is why I think the way I think, is because any emotion we feel, whether it's anger, sadness, love, we don't choose to feel these things, we just feel them. They're given to us, right? And so that's what I mean, is that like they aren't inherently bad. And I do feel like selfishness is very interesting, because I do feel like feeling selfishness is a good thing in some cases as well. I think you need selfishness. Don't get me wrong. I think selfishness, like most things to a degree that is overwhelming, I think if you let it control you, I think if it becomes too much, then yes, it's a bad thing. I think selfishness creates an avenue though for self-care. I think selfishness creates an avenue for protecting yourself from people who are out to harm you, or not even out to harm you, but, you know, inadvertently harm you, or inadvertently have the potential to harm you. I think if you have a healthy level of selfishness for yourself to take care of yourself, right? Because that's what selfishness is. It's thinking about yourself over other people. I think you do need that to live a happy, healthy life, personally. I think that absolutely can manifest itself in a positive way. And I think that's absolutely important, vital, in fact, for a human being in this world, in the societies that we live in, to live happily. Selfishness inherently not a bad thing.
You are too selfish to ever be a good person.
But that's interesting though. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm not even talking to anyone. I'm talking to myself. He says too selfish. The thing that I mentioned about like, yeah, you can be too selfish, I think that's what he's trying to say. So he's not wrong. I think inherent in what he's talking about, there is nuance to it, but I think he's not wrong. He's obviously identifying her as someone who is, you know, over the line so far to be unable to be a good person. I think you can bring that back. I think he's being, and I get it, right? I get it. From what we've seen in the show so far, like, I can completely see why he's coming at it from this perspective. I think it's also a harsh perspective. I think she can come back and be a good person.
Well, I think you're wrong.
What country am I from again?
You got it.
That is a brand of toothpaste.
Yeah.
The only thing that you are concerned with is your own happiness.
Not a bad thing. I'm sorry. I'm not going to repeat myself. I think that this comes under the same category as what I was talking about with selfishness. But I do think, like, you need as a human being... God, we're getting so deep. It's episode 2. Tyler, behave yourself. We're getting into, like, conversations about the meaning of life. And I think I mentioned this last episode as well, is that I do personally think that, like, your own happiness is very important. I think it's a good thing if you strive towards your own happiness. Again, though, it's why I say, like, I'm repeating myself, because I think if you go too far on that, there is the potential to hurt other people. I think if you think of nothing else other than your own happiness, then that can become unhealthy. I don't think that is inherently unhealthy, though. Again, I don't think he's necessarily wrong. I think he's talking about it from a perspective of you are too. Right? You are too selfish. You are too focused on your happiness, right? I think all of these things in moderation is key. To the detriment of all else, he's like, you're unredeemable because of that. And I'm like, no, those things are fine. You just got to reduce it. So like from my perspective, I'm like, just chill, dude. Don't be so, you know, absolutionist.
Time to pick a designated driver. Everyone here believes in my integrity 100%.
Duh.
If I check the other ones, I can figure it out by process of elimination.
Eat them all. Perfect. Yep. Good.
I was principal. Let it wash over you, Betsy.
Guys, chip in and go for a taxi. It's going to be fine.
Flying.
Yeah? Do you get to? Do you for real get to?
Now that you're dead, let's live a little.
Yeah. Okay, no, this place is pretty good.
Large swaths of this neighborhood were destroyed.
Forget it. Just click your fingers. You'll be fine.
Volunteer to help clean up the debris. You know, it's quite a fun way to band together.
You're dead, okay? Let it go. This is your time to rest, mate.
Isn't that right, Gianni?
I swear to God, this guy does not agree with her most of the time. I bet he's not even a monk, you know?
Oh, yes, sorry. For those of you who don't know, my soulmate Gianni here is a Buddhist monk.
Right, she presses this forward too much, to the point now that I'm doubting it. I have no trust at all.
Community, isn't that right, Gianni?
She's saying that to him like, she's like, hey, don't you step out of line, son. Do you know what I mean?
Don't
Like,
know
look at that look.
Isn't that right,
Look
Gianni?
at that. That's an order, mate.
He took a vow of silence that he's still observing, even here, in the good place. It's truly inspiring.
Oh no, okay, no, maybe she's annoyed by that. No, sorry, okay, no, I feel like I misread that. I feel like she's like, no, you're dead now. Come on, let's behave ourselves. Let's talk to me.
It's not really your job to clean up, but I suppose there's...
Right?
I can't believe all these people are passing on flying.
Right.
Have fun, nerds.
he's gonna raise his hand.
Eleanor!
Yeah.
I'd say it's like 50 million simultaneous orgasms.
Wow, that is a comparison to draw on.
This neighborhood that you've built is truly a masterpiece.
But it's also dead wrong.
Oh no, Michael.
This neighborhood is a disaster.
No.
See, I must have made a mistake somewhere.
No, it's not you.
I'm just terrified that it's going to happen again.
Oh, buddy.
Well, this face that I've constructed for myself, but
It does look very nice. Like the glasses are peak.
I have to go. Thank you so
Oh, Michael.
Oh no.
Right?
Michael could be heading for a total meltdown.
You gotta be there for him, yeah.
Soulmate. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Did you just call him soulmate?
We say it at the same time. All right. 1, 2.
Okay, she wants him to talk.
Oh, you sly devil. To keep me on my toes, aren't you? All right, come on.
Oh, do you know what? I'm invested in this now. I am. I'm invested in Tahani. Bless her. Oh, do you know, and that's the thing. You know, episode 1, she's a very kind of condescending character at face value. She's very almost, you know, above everyone else, or she arrays herself to be like that. I say that it's very judgmental attitude from my point of view. From me as well, right? Like, she's not necessarily that. She's just got a posh accent, and she's very, I guess, forthright, right? And confident, and just gets in front of everyone and just does her thing. I don't think she's doing it in a way that is, from her perspective, negative, right? But bless her, yeah, you see, I think it's really interesting that in episode 2 they're showing an element, a sliver of vulnerability in that character that you see in episode 1, established in episode 1. And I think doing that actually, like I said, I mean, this worked on me, softens the audience towards her character. Compared to episode 1, that's a really interesting little mix, especially giving the little through line of her soulmate not talking to her. She clearly wants, character that she is, she wants him to talk to her. And, you know, they're supposed to be soulmates, so there's got to be something there, and I think that's what's playing in her mind. It's like, well, there's something here. You were supposed to be my soulmate. If you'd only talk to me, this could be amazing. And I don't think she's quite getting what she's been promised, I think, from her soulmate. But also, she's coming at Michael from a place of sympathy. So, Michael, who is very almost childlike, innocent, who I think is enamored quite immediately to the audience in episode 1, continues that in episode 2. And I think her coming from the perspective of a sympathetic light towards Michael, again, softens you to her character. It's very interesting, episode 1 into episode 2, and the way that it makes you empathize with her character, who in episode 1 was kind of abrasive, especially through the lens of Eleanor, right? Who obviously we're getting told the story through, especially in episode 1. Yeah, I love that. Flips her character on its head.
Isn't this great?
Yeah. When I thought of the afterlife, I totally...
Most great philosophers would say helping you is pointless, that you can't try to be good, especially when your motivations are so obviously corrupt.
Ooh.
On the other hand, Aristotle thought that moral virtue is something that you could get better at.
Yeah.
He compared it to playing the flute. The more you practice, the more you improve.
Yeah, I think so too. I absolutely do agree. I think being good can be practiced. It depends on circumstance. It depends on motivation, right? What's your motivation to be good? And I suppose it comes into, you know, that debate of like, is any deed, is any act actually good? Because it's like, what's our motivation for that? Even good people, right? And think of one right now. I'm sure we've all got one. Do they do the good thing because they'll get a reward from it? Whether that reward is as simple as a smile, or someone being like, oh, you're so good, or oh, thank you, right? Thank you. Whether it's as simple as that, it's like, is anyone, and by the way, I don't particularly prescribe to this level of morality, right? Or this perception of morality of no one is ever truly good. I know that's a viewpoint that some people hold of like, no one's ever truly good because they're always doing it for some level of motivation, some level of reward, right? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think there are just some people, and I think a lot of people, honestly, that do just good things because that's how they want to be. I do really think that. I think it's really cynical to think otherwise. I think also there are people who do it for the reward. I absolutely do think there are those people that exist. I don't think it's exclusive to those people. Sorry, I digress. I think people can learn. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, do we live in a society that motivates people to learn, right? Does it reward people to be good?
Are we switched to a rotating system for choosing a designated driver?
And I'm already pretty drunk. I guess the only place I'll be driving is through the giant loophole in the system I accidentally discovered.
For real though, £2-3 for a taxi, and suddenly you've got a £20 taxi and you're all in it. Easy.
I can't believe they've managed to mix 1 million flavors together.
That's insane.
I got no flavor.
Oh my god, dude.
That's all I deserve, really.
No. Good Tahani.
Sometimes a flaw can make something even more beautiful. Like with Cindy Crawford and how short she is.
Okay, she was winning me over, and then she slid back.
If even one blade of grass is angled a fraction of a degree off.
Oh mate, it sounds like you've been worked too hard.
Whose dog is that? This is one of those glitches I was talking about.
No! Why would you kick the puppy? Right?
That was a close.
Oh no, it's hers.
Teacup!
Michael.
Have you seen my dog?
Tahani, yeah, go back to it. Yeah, fair play to you, man. Mate, you can get it back. Dear Lord. I don't understand how you can't just clean up the streets with a click of your fingers. That's insane. Okay.
Any chance this is a scheduled trash storm?
Oh man.
I kind of kicked your dog into the sun.
Oh no.
I got her back.
Amazing.
Everything seems fine.
She's fine. She's fine. Okay, why can't you apply that magic to the rubbish though?
A construct of a dog. It feels no pain or joy or love.
Teacup doesn't love me?
Oh!
My man.
Do you actually want a dog that loves you a little bit more? Because I can kick her right back into the sun and get you another one just like that.
No.
Michael.
All right, that's all right. Breathe. Breathe. You breathe?
Oh, do you know what? Tahani gets a pass from me because she's on Michael's side. I love her. That's how it works, okay?
Before you say anything. That's it. I just don't want you to say anything. In my defense, there were only 5 minutes left in flying.
How is that a defense? You made a bad choice.
You're like the worst part of Superman.
You are a selfish person.
Oh.
You are on your own.
I do feel like, as an ethics professor, he's given up too soon. I'm so sorry. I know, like, okay, I'm sorry. Eleanor is being a little bit annoying. She is. She could absolutely try harder, and it's not his job at this point in the afterlife to do this. However, I do feel like he can try harder.
More cleaning up to do.
Okay, these guys are insane though. What? Can they die? Okay, what?
Come on. I mean, even you have to admit these guys are psycho.
Yeah, I'm with you there though.
I'm not a mountain of strength. I'm a canyon
No.
full of poo-poo.
No.
The architect of this neighborhood has just referred to himself as a canyon full of poo-poo.
Say something.
Now you will say something. Grace us with your vocalized wisdom, please.
You're gonna do it non-verbally, yeah? He's got it in him, I feel.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
The strength is inside me. It's been there all along.
He is very calming.
Of course, I can overcome any obstacle.
Wow.
Thank you.
Oh, he's the real deal.
I'm back.
Oh, nice.
You did it!
Yeah, high five.
I should try to be silent too. No, really. Look, here I go.
Oh, I think they make a nice pair.
Wonderful. So cleansing.
And I think she's struggling with it right now. I think she's going to come to love him. I mean, they're supposed to be soulmates for a reason, right? Oh, she likes him.
Designated driver? I think it's awesome. I mean, someone's got to do it, right?
Do people not know about taxis? Like, serious question.
Bad news is it means I can't drive you guys home. I did call a cab for you guys, but they recognized my number and they didn't want to come.
Damn it.
If you blow us off, you are banned.
Oh, she blowing something off.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Peace.
Oh, a little bit of self-reflection, maybe. Hello.
That's where I live, by the way. Not that you ever asked.
Oh, she didn't.
You cleaned up everything. You're doing this because you feel bad.
Okay, yeah, fine. I felt bad for stupid Gunnar.
That doesn't mean that the good act is irrelevant.
Feeling remorse about being wrong isn't as good as just doing something right, but it's a start.
Is it not, though? Is it not? It takes strength to do that. Like, there are plenty of people that feel that or feel inklings of that and don't do anything. I do feel like he's being... I don't like him. I do like him. No. I do... Sorry, hang on. I do like him. I don't like his take on ethics, if I'm completely honest. I don't think he's soft enough. I don't think he's empathetic enough, personally. And but this is the thing. I get it. You know, he's died, he's gone to the afterlife, like, I get, he's absolutely earned a rest from that. Do you know what I mean? But then, it's like, has he? Because it's not the end of his life, it's a continuation. It's the next stage, the next step. I suppose you could interpret that as like, yeah, okay, that's over, new thing now. However, they remember that. They remember their life. So it's like, well, if they remember their life, why then would not the function be to bring that into this next life? That surely is part of the point, because otherwise why would they remember? As a professor of ethics, how do you not have more empathy, right? And I feel like hierarchically arranging levels of good is arbitrary. I really think it's arbitrary. I do. And like, maybe you disagree, and if you do, let me know down in the comments. I'm very interested, because I think this is very debatable. I think it's very subjective. I think it really is. I think it's stuff that we're still dealing with as humans. I don't think we talk about it enough, honestly. I think we often neglect our emotional capacity. I think we often neglect discussion, especially nowadays. I think some things are so established, right? Whether it's law, whether it's social status, whether it's social rules. I think a lot of those things are very set in stone and very hard to break out of. And by the way, when I say set in stone, I don't they're unchangeable. I think a lot of things should be changed. But I think the rules that we have in place are very unchangeable to a lot of people. And I don't think they should be. It comes into what I was kind of talking about before of like, is a positively moral deed less positive or less moral because it's motivated by remorse? I don't think so. It doesn't make the good deed any less good. The good deed still existed, still happened. It doesn't matter what the motivation was. I think you can bog yourself down in the reason or the motivation for things, but why? Why are you assigning certain levels of goodness? You are, by design in that case, by definition in that case, dividing. And division often isn't good. I think division by good deed separates us in a way that, like I say, is arbitrary. I think if you're doing good things, you should bring yourselves together. Good things, good deeds as humans should bring us together. And I think his way of thinking in this moment divides. And I don't think that's good. I think that's really interesting. I think the way that he's coming at it, actually, I think can be defined as bad from a certain perspective as well. I really do disagree with this hierarchical nature of good deeds. Because by saying that, he erased himself above her. And I do feel like there's something inherently privileged, inherently egotistical in that mindset, in that thinking. And I don't think, by the way, I don't think he's the bad person in the situation. I just think his logic in this situation isn't great.
I think you're capable of change. I will help you try.
Good. That's perfect.
Hi there. I've collected the worst smelling garbage that I could find. Do you still want me to dump it inside of Antonio's house?
What? No?
Eleanor!
Okay, I won't let you down starting now.
Eleanor, I know what you did.
Oh.
Cleaning up the entire neighborhood by yourself.
Well, I feel like Michael's going to be really sympathetic when he finds out, because he's going to find out.
No, I've had to ban flying for 1,000 years.
What? Are you serious?
Hit a rotting turkey carcass at 1,000 miles an hour.
Oh, God.
Exploded into this fireball of turkey flesh and bones.
Oh my God, that sounds glorious. Why don't you show me that?
I have moved out of my apartment officially. Make things easier for our good person lessons.
Cool. I like it.
It will take hours and hours of studying ethics and moral philosophy.
I'm here for this, though.
I got you a present.
What?
Senegal.
Amazing.
That's not a present. That's just common decency.
It's very true. That is, yeah.
Good talk.
Oh, does someone know? Is it like a, I know? I wonder. Is it the monk? I bet it's the monk. Ah, I knew it. I told you. Saw it coming. I bet it's the monk. I bet it's the monk. I'm calling it right now. It's the monk. There we have it. There we have it. Episode 2. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Do you know what? I have talked this episode. I don't think there's anything else I want to say. I think I've kind of hashed it out as much as I possibly want to. So I'm going to keep this outro nice and short. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, if this is your first video you've watched on my channel, if you liked it, subscribe. Tick that bell button as well. You get more content like this coming your way. Thank you, as always, to my lovely patrons. Thank you genuinely so much for your support. Thank you, as always, to everyone else as well. And I will see you in the next one.